All right. Well, it's already a few minutes after 9, so we might as well go ahead and jump in and get officially started. So, if I guess we'll just go around the screen and do some quick introductions. I guess name, where you work, how long you've been working with FileMaker, and then let's see, what question. I guess what because I think we, as Beth pointed out, and I kind of agree that, wasn't sure what to expect, but it was better than what I thought it was, going to be. But maybe just what you miss about being there in person.
Yeah.
So I guess whoever would like to start.
Thomas, you should start.
Here it comes.
Sorry.
Carrying orange juice.
Which Thomas?
The one he's currently giving treats to a cat. So.
Oh, nice.
Are we gonna switch then, or are you just gonna talk?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry, I was getting water.
So he doesn't know, he's just introducing himself right now.
Oh, is that what we're doing?
You're giving a keynote speech.
That's what you're doing.
Got it. Thomas with Profile Developers. And do we have a question to answer?
Yeah, social security number and credit card.
Yeah, no, we're going to go what you missed about the in-person event. I mean, I think because we kind of agree that, what they're doing is good, but it's obviously different than being there in person. So what you miss about the in-person event?
Oh my God. Everything. I miss the food. I miss the seeing my friends. Like that. I guess that's the biggest thing. I don't even see my local friend. So not being able to see them. That's probably it. The sessions, whatever. That's fine. They're doing fine on the recording, but yeah, that's probably what I miss the most. So yeah, that's it.
I guess I'll go next. I'm Dennis from outside of Philadelphia. I just found your little group. I was supposed to try and get on it last month, but ended up getting a bunch of emergency calls, so I didn't make it. Yesterday was supposed to be my first FileMaker developers conference, and I missed that because I ran water rescues and then carbon monoxide rescues because of all the generators and everybody out of power last night. So this is my first day. So I'm still missing a lot of the whole interaction thing.
Okay, well, I'm glad you found us today, Dennis. So
good.
welcome.
Glad you're here. Nice to meet you.
And I usually go to the New York user group.
Okay.
With Tony White.
Okay, very cool.
You don't want to go to New York right now.
No, that's why I'm here.
There is another one called, it's the Philly FileMaker user group.
I know them. They only meet like once a quarter, and I don't know. Their topics usually doesn't fall within my interest a lot of times, but they are because they're usually like demos, and I like, I really like the New York group. They're a fun bunch.
Cool.
Yeah, but you can catch a virus from them.
I know that. Well, I'm keeping them at arm's length right now.
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
At least 10 gigabytes apart.
Yeah.
Well, I'm Thomas Waters. I'm at the Pitt School of Pharmacy, but I have a big announcement. I officially am retiring.
All right.
Hey,
Congratulations.
Thank you. Effective September 30. That's my last day of full-time work. However, because of everything being as crazy as it is right now, I'm going to continue to work on a part-time basis for at least the next 6 months. And I'm going to work really hard to keep that part-time at about 10 hours a week. But as we all know with development, how that can go. But at least I am able to say the only thing I'm going to focus on is FileMaker, and all the other things that now take up part of my full-time job are off my plate. So that's very, very exciting.
Oh, wonderful.
Yay.
Congratulations, Thomas.
The thing I'm missing is it's the under the hood sessions are some of my favorites, but I find it so much harder to concentrate on that kind of detail in Zoom. When you're sitting in that room and you've got nothing else to distract you, for me, that's easier with some of those heavy duty kinds of sessions. And, you know, with I have faculty emailing me and all kinds of crap going on here. And so I miss that ability to just be in the cocoon of a DevCon or Engage room where you can, to the best of your ability, turn off everything else.
That's fair. I'll go next.
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Beth Latta from IT Solutions. I've been doing this for 30 years. I think that's what we say. And I miss the human interaction from DevCon, you know, the getting to see people faces, you know, that I haven't seen, and talking shop in person.
Hard to catch.
Oh my God, that was Monty. Monty has an opinion too.
Okay.
I'm glad you didn't leave me again.
All right, I'll go next, Kim. Just for Dennis, so you know that I am a systems admin at a company, so I do in-house development for a plumbing and hardware, commercial plumbing and hardware company. I definitely miss the interaction with people, the networking, because you guys know how I am with that. So I missed that, and I was like, in one session, I saw Tim Simbora put something in the chat. And I was like, yeah, Tim, I know you. I wish I could say hi to you, but I can't. So, but what I was doing, you know, because even if when they hit over 1,000 people, you didn't see the video. So I was trying to get in there quick. So as I have this alert, so I would on my calendar, so I would immediately go in, even though they were doing practice sessions. I was in there already so I could see the video. So, I mean, I know we're going to see it later, but I do miss all that. I mean, I don't miss the travel for me, you know, but I do miss the interaction with people. I miss interaction with people in general. I've been out of my house 6 times since March. So, yeah. It's good to see everybody, even if it's virtual. It's good to see everybody.
Well, I'll go next. My name's Bob. Sorry, geez, oh man. I have a coffee drink here and it's making me phlegmy. But my name's Bobby. I'm with Cross IT. I've been developing for about 5, maybe 6 years now. The thing I miss most is probably just a face-to-face interaction and having different sessions to go to. Having, you know, just only one session to choose from this year kind of makes it a little boring, I guess, but takes some of the fun out of it. But yeah.
Are you cross IT people all wearing the same t-shirts and matching shoes right now?
We actually thought about that, but I don't think we are. We're going to coordinate.
Don't have them stand up.
I think me and Todd had the same shirt on just by.
Yeah, I missed the memo, apparently.
Yeah.
No moon.
I actually am wearing the shirt that we were going to.
You still the logo.
Yeah. Well, I'm wearing my FileMaker DevCon shirt because I knew it, because I was like, well, I'm going to at least wear that. I know it's Claris Engage, whatever. I know it is DevCon.
I almost wore that one.
Everybody knows what it really is.
Yeah, working on the living room. I wanted a T-shirt, so it's one of the old DevCon.
Oh, very good.
Yeah.
Very
Oh,
nice.
okay. So there you go. There you go.
Later.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Who's next?
Well, real
I'll go
quick.
next.
Real quick.
Uh-oh, the baby.
Yeah, the baby.
Oh,
wow.
Baby.
oh,
Hi.
oh,
Hi there.
oh, that's like, wonderful. What are all these people on the screen?
He's
Oh.
Hey, I'm on the screen too.
Looks like a FileMaker developer.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. She's been developing for about 6 months now.
I bet she's native JavaScript now, so
Yeah,
she
right.
doesn't have the old baggage.
All right, so give you that for now, huh? All right. Oh.
Oh.
So, I'll go next. Teresa Makwa. I work with Thomas at Profile Developers, and I've been doing this for 13 years-ish, something like that. And yeah, I agree with everybody. The personal interaction, seeing people, being able to just kind of float in between sessions is great. And it is, I agree with Thomas, that it's very hard to get away from work when the sessions are just like in this little screen over here, and then an email comes in and you're like, oh, so it's harder to isolate from that. So don't feel like I'm getting as much out of it because I'm not, putting the blinders on and being completely focused. So.
I'll go next. Vince Lackner with the Lackner Group, been using FileMaker for 22 years. I miss seeing all of you, my friends from the Proof Group. I miss being in Todd Geist's session live.
Yes.
It's hard to get his attention in the 2 or 3 months before Claris Engage now, because he works intensely getting prepared for his presentations, where he tries to present in a completely off-the-cuff manner, including occasional disorganization after all this prep. But he's always 5 levels ahead. I did not get a chance to see his JavaScript presentation yesterday, but I look forward to the video of it. And he's a very visionary thinker. It's always exciting to see what he's cooking up each year. So I missed that in the live presentation.
I can go. I'm Kristen Lavery. I work at Carnegie Mellon University. I've been using FileMaker for about 4 years now, but mostly it's Todd using FileMaker. Me updating some layouts sometimes. But last year was my first ever DevCon. Even though I didn't really know anybody other than the Pittsburgh. It was nice to meet people from all over and to be able to participate in. I went on was it the four day? Because the first day was an optional training. So it was nice to have that first day of training, I thought. Especially for people like me who aren't developers by trade.
I'm Paul Mueller. I'm retired. Thomas, it doesn't get any easier when you're retired. Everybody will be asking you for your help, okay? The only thing that you have to remember is wear pants when you're doing video conferencing. I've been using FileMaker for a long while, and I don't miss anything at DEF CON.
Right. You can't miss anything.
I can't miss a thing.
Right.
But anyhow, that's that.
I'm Jill Wellman. I think I've been using FileMaker for maybe 7 years. It's a year longer than this group has been meeting. How long has this group been meeting? 7 years will do.
Something like-
I'm
yeah,
also
something like that.
retired. I'm also retired. I was a professor of cognitive psychology and computer science at CMU. I do miss seeing all of you, although I have to say isolation appears to me, and I've been retired long enough that people are no longer seeking me out the way they used to. I have a couple of graduate students who call me up periodically with serious questions. I have really enjoyed DEF CON, I guess the 3 times I've been there. FileMaker, it's a really interesting group because, well, this is my experience in the past, because FileMaker people have a lot in common because we use the same platform, but there's also a style of thinking that goes with that. And people are doing all different things. And I remember my first year, I sat down next to some guy I didn't know, and I asked him about what he did. And what he did was try to keep track of where nuclear waste material was buried and what kind of waste it was and how long it was going to last and what its containers were. I thought, and everything was like that. I mean, I learned so much about various disciplines because I have people who speak my language who tell me all about it. It is very good to see you all.
See you too, Jill. Hey, Jill, did you give him glowing reports, Jill?
Cute, Paul. Cute, cute, cute.
All right, did we get, is that everybody? Oh, Laura.
No,
Laura.
we got Laura.
Yes. Yes. I'm Laura Betts. I'm a developer at Cross IT and developing over 10 years. Thing about what I miss most at DevCon is like I have been talking to a lot of people throughout the conference yesterday in other ways, but like in person obviously I do miss, but I also miss like the after each session the question and answer part. You in person you can directly ask them, but like with this format you have to like filter it through. And so it's a little bit sort of different. And then you can, you know, if you wanted to continue the conversation, you just go up and then you can walk and talk and stuff during that. So
I want to add one more thing that I missed, and that is seeing Todd Weller and the Cross IT team winning big awards at FileMaker.
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, thank you.
Too kind, Vince.
Yes, thank you. Yes,
I miss my being networking, you know, my first year being the vice, you know, meeting the vice president of marketing and being part of the you know, that you guys all went to the conference. He was talking about this woman he met and from Pittsburgh doing plumbing stuff. So yeah, I miss that. You know, I was, you know, so I didn't get to meet any of the presidents or CEOs or anything like that because you know how I am. But I did meet a woman, and I just wanted to do a quick thank you, Laura, for putting the stuff in Slack. That's been helpful. And I did meet a woman from Milwaukee who happens to be at HVAC and been there for 20 years doing FileMaker. And I was like, okay, you and I, so we connect. I did find her, and we connected. So
nice.
That was great. That's the type of people I like to meet.
Awesome.
We're in the same industry. So, all right. I just wanted to include that. Thanks.
Thank you.
Okay. Looks like either Ken has drifted behind his background or he had to run off and deal with somebody's emergency issues. So we can come back. I think everybody else is gone except me, I think.
I think he's going after the Death Star.
I think so. I think so. Yeah, so I'm Todd Weller. I work with Cross IT. Started with FileMaker. I think it was version 6 or 5.5 somewhere in that. Or I guess it wasn't 5.5. It was Server 5.5. So it was FileMaker 6. And I think common theme with everybody is miss seeing all of you, of course, in person. But then there's good friends that you make at DevCon that you only see once a year, but your year's not made unless you get to go up and say hi to that person or whatever. And then this year, I mean, I missed the roller coasters I planned on riding because with it being in Nashville, I was going to drive down and back and stop at 2 amusement parks on my way home. So I do miss that as well. Okay. Well, I guess we can just, I mean, we've kind of already been doing a little bit of discussion. I don't know if we want to, go through each session, or just as you have, thoughts and things that you want to share, just go ahead and, make them known.
Nobody brought a bagel.
Yes, I didn't have a bagel.
That'd be great.
My bagel, but I'm looking and nobody's eating, and I'm like, I'm not going to take a bite until I see somebody else eating their breakfast.
Well, I ate early. Here's my empty plate. So if you want to go ahead and eat.
Good, I can eat now. Thanks.
Yeah. I reserved eating until now. Just for the moment.
Very polite.
So. Yes, I don't. Like I said, I don't know if we want to start with the opening keynote. Any thoughts that people had as they got a chance to watch it? Anything that jumped out?
Everyone was wearing blue. I'm sorry.
It wasn't live, but it was well produced.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just a YouTube video. It was like, all right. I can look at that later. I mean, I did watch it, but I was expecting something a little more. I don't know. It was a well-produced video. Yeah, I'll disagree with you.
I was expecting some portion of it to be them interacting with each other, not just all previously recorded.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think the fun part with Andy Lacates, he was like chatting elsewhere during his part, and people are like, "Oh, you're so you're multitasking, you're chatting and presenting at the same time."
That sounds like him.
And they mentioned that he must have not had his coffee this morning because he wasn't talking as fast as he usually does in presentations.
Maybe they slowed it down and
Yes.
so that more than chipmunks could understand him.
Right.
I think we lost your audio there, Thomas.
Going up, yeah, there.
Oh, you're off again. Oh.
Are you talking about Andy Lacates?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I thought I felt actually kind of worried for Andy. Not his normal self in any way, shape, or form. And I felt a little troubled. Like, this is not the person that I know. One of my takeaways from it was that I think we're seeing the biggest overall change to the product that we love and use than we may have ever seen since, I don't know since when. I think we're on the precipice of just a huge explosion of the way this tool could begin to be used. And I don't know, that was one of my takeaways, was that FileMaker, Claris, is really about to change. It is in that process of being a wholly new thing, and not leaving any of us behind, bringing us all along in a great way. But I thought it looked like, wow, the future is really bright.
And this is from the retired guy.
Who will now be charging a nice hourly rate for his consulting.
You got it. You got it.
So let us know when you have business cards and you need some clients.
That may be a talk for a regular meeting, but I have never become certified, and I'm not an exam kind of person. I will not do well sitting at a computer answering multiple choice questions. But I can do a lot of stuff. And I am thinking about, how do I market myself? How do I continue to do what I do. And I'm giving a talk at a assessment conference in October with one of our faculty members. We developed a database last summer called PrimeRx, which is to track our students' co-curricular activities, and we're giving a talk about that. And there's a market in higher education and most definitely in schools of pharmacy for utilizing tools like I've built. And so that's something I want to talk about in a future meeting, I think.
There you go, Todd. We have next month's topic.
Alrighty. We can definitely put it on the schedule. So
Vertical markets, is that what it's called? Thomas, I have to. Is it vertical markets? Is it? Didn't you have something like that years ago at
That was one of the first talks I gave.
at our meetup?
Mm-hmm.
See, I remember stuff. I'm not certified either. I'm certifiable, but I'm not certified.
Well, they got rid of the certification tests, right?
No more certification starting with 19.
Yeah, so with 19,
Oh,
at least FileMaker ones.
So for you to be not certified is that's what you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
We're ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
Well, I thought they were actually, it was being replaced. It wasn't going to be like a per version certification, but there was still going to be something.
I did hear that. Since right now there's nothing.
Yeah, my question is if Claris Connect is going to be on that too, so.
No.
Todd, did you say a perversion?
Yeah, I heard that. Perversion.
Perversion certification.
Yes.
How did you say that?
That's Paul.
Yeah. I guess that is what I said, yes.
Yes, it is.
Have to make sure the person who does the closed captioning make sure they puts the space in when they do it.
Right. Careful editing.
Okay. Anything more? I mean, obviously we can circle back, but anything more specific to the keynote, or should we just go ahead and kind of keep moving on? I know probably the one from yesterday that I was looking forward to the most was the FileMaker 19 under the hood with the JavaScript and add-ons, which was the one that was Todd Geist. It was really the one that was more of a presentation than just like a panel discussion. I had actually figured that I would be, have it up on one screen and working on, the emails and stuff as they come in, and it was just too interesting that I ended up paying attention to it and not worrying about the other stuff. So definitely a lot to absorb.
And he stayed pretty well focused and didn't go off and build a whole new thing during his presentation.
Yeah.
Is that a thing normally?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
he like throws away the notes and just goes rogue.
I mean, it's always good stuff, but he sometimes veers off course.
Sometimes.
I think one of the first sessions I ever saw with Todd Geist, it was memorable because he got up there and he started out by saying, okay, I was up until 2:30 in the morning redoing everything for this presentation, so I might be a little bit off here, but here I go. And then, like halfway through, he was like, okay, no, wait, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. And then he went and rewrote a whole nother piece of it. He's just so intense. Hard to look at him directly.
No, I like that session a lot. I agree. It was very interesting. I kept stopping what I was doing in the living room and going, really? You can do that?
Yeah.
Oh, I can't wait to rewatch this on the video.
Yeah. I think for me, the one was the script step that uses the data API.
Yeah.
Because I think, because I think I probably saw the script step in there and I'm like, what am I going to use that for?
Right.
And it's like, oh, that's what I'm going to use it for. Yes. So.
Yeah, I saw that part and I was like, instantly, that's going to save me about 20 hours next week because I was fighting with something that's an API type issue. And I'm like, I bet I can use that. So.
And I thought the whole notion of creating an add-on and saving that as this piece of code that then you can stick into other solutions as well as make marketable is just really exciting. I know I struggle with how do I save something that I did in one database and bring it into another. Well, if I can package it as an add-on, then I have an easy way to bring it into another database. And yeah, so I thought that was just so cool.
Yeah, we just need to retrain our brains to learn to think that way. They're basically trying to turn us into real programmers.
Oh.
Yeah, I agree with you, Thomas, about that, because we're right in the middle of doing upgrading from FileMaker 14 server to FileMaker 19 server, and which is a big jump. I know. So I had to take one of the ones, a computer, and make a test server on 19, and then throw in my old databases so that I can. I was like, how am I going to move them over to there because I can't talk to each other? So that was very interesting to me, and I'm going to try it because that is what I'm struggling with right now.
Yeah, and that was it was actually a question that I had that I didn't bother typing in, but somebody else had thought to ask it was, with that script step specifically, does that mean that using the execute SQL function you just throw it out? But it sounds like there's still a place, depending on what you're trying to do, that you still don't you still may have uses for that. But it sounds like a lot of what at least they were doing was replacing some of those function calls with the new script steps. So I'm anxious to try it out myself. So
yeah, the impression I got from that is that that would be faster than the execute. But I haven't tested it yet to see, but that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, and I would assume that because you're calling from you specify a layout, that it must, obviously it uses the schema of your solution, where while you don't have to be in the right context to use it, it still uses whatever that context is whenever it evaluates. So, yeah, and I think too, I mean, because we've tried a couple different times, I'm sure we all have, where you come up with like a starter solution that, okay, every project is going to start with this. And it seems like the add-ons might be even better, because instead of having to have an entire solution, you can just have, bits and pieces, so that you don't have to bring over stuff that you don't want, or, try to clean it out later. You can just go with the, that particular, function or, set of layouts or whatever it is for the add-on. So it'd be interesting to do some more playing around with that.
Yeah, I think add-ons are way better than the whole starter solution thing. I know we had a base code file at one point at our company, and it was just hugely over-engineered because people tried to think of everything. Right. And there were some really cool components. I mean, it had audit logging, and it had print controller, and all kinds of interesting things, but it was so much, and you had to build your solution so precisely for it to work. But with the add-ons, you can have what you need and none of what you don't. The other thing too with app development now, especially if you're going to be using things on a mobile device, you don't want all that overhead. You want your file to be as lean as possible, because if you're using Go, you're keeping a copy likely on your phone or your iPad or what have you. You don't want to have a 2 gig file sitting there. You need just what you need to be able to work. So I think add-ons are going to be very useful once I get my head around them.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
By the way, Beth and Teresa, I like your cats.
Yes, they are brave.
This is Crinkles. She's not the one who was talking earlier, though. That's Monty.
Crinkles likes the attention at the meeting, though.
She's checking out the screen.
Yeah.
She's looking at everybody.
Mm.
Oh,
Yeah.
she's looking at you now, Paul. Something's moving.
He's just
You may jump at the screen any second. So if I get disconnected, I'll call back in.
yeah. When
Please
look
email
from
for me.
desk to desk in here and wander about. So
So with add-ons, Todd did this big deal about the configurator. Is that a desire to create a best practices around add-ons, or is that going to be a part of the way add-ons work? Do you understand my question?
I think so, and it might be the same question because I couldn't tell if the configurator is something that's already inherent in an add-on by default, or if that's something that Todd and his team have added as part of their own add-on to make it configurable. I wasn't really sure, how that.
It seemed like to me that he had built that in because
Yeah, I think so.
they're so good at like creating that modular, contained kind of element that's just part and parcel for how they're doing their development. So I think that he just seamlessly integrated it with that. And how he said, he was like, oh, and I just shift clicked and then here it is, the configuration layout.
Like,
oh my God.
Yeah.
So I do think they are going to build something in though. So if you've played with add-ons, so it creates an XML file and there's like description fields that are in the XML that you don't get an opportunity to fill in. So I think whatever the final version is, there will be additional options. But yeah, I think that configurator was Todd's doing, so. But yeah. Everyone's getting cool backgrounds. Laura's got one. Paul's got one now.
I just keep watching Paul go over the falls.
He needs a barrel.
Todd, why is your background not a roller coaster?
Yeah, that's probably what it should
yes,
be.
that's a good.
Yes,
That's a good.
That is a good one.
yes.
Let's see.
You should be perpetually riding. a roller
I think I've got one in here somewhere.
Just
That's
one.
when I set up servers, every background is a different roller coaster, so I know which server I'm looking at.
And how tall you need to be to use it.
Exactly. Yes.
Todd, we need a Kingston Trio song for you, just like the guy who rode the subway in Boston and couldn't get off. Somebody remind me of the song.
Did he ever return? No, he never returned. And his fate is still unknown.
That's it. You got it.
So Dennis, is this what you were expecting from our meeting?
I didn't know what to expect, but yeah, I like it. I wasn't expecting. I didn't know. Like, am I walking to somebody with 100 people or what? I have no idea what I was walking into. So it's very nice to meet everybody.
Very nice to have you.
Yeah, likewise.
So the session that I didn't really care for yesterday was the design session. It wasn't bad by any means, but I guess I really want people to talk about design details, not just these general things about how they help get clients to agree to make change. And that stuff is not bad. That stuff is useful, but I really wanted people to talk about how our devices are changing the structural way we think about organizing data, if that makes sense. And so if you're thinking about planning a session for future Engage, or DevCon or FMburgh meetings, I think that's a really important topic. There is already a lot of stuff out there about thinking about how we organize data, but more about how people, their minds think about how they're going to move through a solution, I think would be useful.
Yes. I think that would be an excellent topic.
Yes. I mean, some of the, in that session, a lot of it was, as you said, Thomas, is like, go to the people that do the job, you know. It's like, well, I already know that. I've been doing that for 10, 15, 20 years, you know, so it all makes sense. I wanted to know, I was like you, saying, how can we make it look like what people are used to? Everybody's changing their website, upgrading their mobile apps and everything. And how can we make FileMaker look like that? Because that's what people are used to seeing nowadays. You know, I mean, there was, I think he did touch on, I don't know, I don't remember who said it, but about how they had an app that they did 10 years ago and they needed to update it and give it the look and feel of what life is like now. It was great 10 years ago, but, you know, make it look like something that people are used to seeing nowadays.
It's dazzled, it's timeless.
Yes. Yeah. And I think that was one of the questions in the Q&A that I saw. Like, that was what other people thought, that they wanted to see, you know, more design stuff and not like how to approach people. And from what I got from the answer is that like they're having a lot on-demand sessions about design. So I don't know if they're just trying to push people to go watch those afterwards.
Cool.
It looks like those on-demands are going to come up tomorrow, maybe?
That's the plan, I think.
Is there a list of those?
On the Engage schedule, it would be, or under Claris Academy, there's a tab that says on demand. I don't think that there's anything there, but there will be.
Okay.
They all say coming soon.
Yeah.
So there's a session tomorrow too of stuff?
Well, they're on demand and not live.
Oh, okay.
Presenting it.
So just resources that we'll be able to go to whenever we want to going forward.
Oh, okay.
Not officially scheduled conference.
Right.
I do like how they were talking about getting the FileMaker developer subscription for free, and how they're, you know, helping people that need to retrain into different, you know, the industry or something. You know, I like all that. I'm not displaced. I'm thankful that I still have a job. But I you know, I thought that was nice what Claris is doing, and I appreciate a lot of the apps and stuff that they were talking about to help with COVID, things like that. You know, that was interesting. And I didn't even know about Join Table. So so that was cool, and I signed up for it. I thought,
it's interesting.
A lot of time, but I don't know if anybody's gonna need to know anything, but I was like, okay, I'm sitting here by myself all day, every day. So, you know, maybe if someone needs help with the things that I know are unfortunately my outside interests are, Dennis, so you know that theater and arts and music, but all that I would like to make a database for any of them, but all of them are shut down right now. Right. So
it's the time to do it then, right?
Yeah, well, I could help them, but they might not be doing anything till 2021. 22, I don't know.
Well, Thomas did some work with Join Table when they first started, or you were one of the first signups?
Yeah, let me switch ones.
When you look across at each other, you have to look up, and Thomas, you have to look down, so I know which way to look.
Well, my screen is this way, yeah.
That's better.
The speaker too.
Yeah, I don't know if we're all in the same order on everybody's screen. That's the thing.
Nope.
I don't know. We're not in all the same order?
Nope.
No.
Oh.
I don't know. I have Todd, me, Jill, Laura.
Oh. No, not the same order.
Yep, okay. Well, there you go.
Yeah, that was the one thing I will say that was slightly annoying yesterday, because I would usually, especially for the panels, I would switch the view to be the grid, like it sounds like most of us are looking at it now. But everybody kept moving. It's like this, they didn't like stay in one place, which I don't know if that's just a WebEx thing, and it didn't even really seem to be tied to who was talking. It was, so you like get used to seeing somebody in this square, and then all of a sudden they're somewhere else.
I think you start getting eye fatigue because you're constantly doing this, looking for people.
Yeah. I know for me, one of the surprises yesterday was getting to see John Thatcher again.
Yeah.
That was that was quite a panel. Because I think most all the other ones were 3 or 4 people, and I think they had almost 8 or 10, I think, for the performance optimization. But it was cool getting to hear from John Thatcher again.
So overall, yesterday's impression from everybody, how was that?
I was impressed. I mean, for having to do it in an online format, I thought it was well done.
Yeah,
and I was
better than I had anticipated. I was expecting to try to watch them and be bored and kind of just do something else. But I thought they were well done. They were interesting, and except for I agree with Thomas, the design one, except for that one, which I think maybe it was misnamed, if that was the issue. But the rest of them, I got something out of them at least, and they were, well done.
That's good.
We didn't get a free lunch though, like I'm used to getting a free lunch. So.
Yeah, I did miss the like the little tiny desserts, that they have, where it's like barely just a taste. But I did have a half a dozen Oreos yesterday during one of the sessions, so it kind of balances out. So anything else on sessions yesterday or sessions that you're looking forward to today?
Yeah, what's going on today? Anybody know?
Yeah, I have no idea.
I haven't looked at my calendar yet. This was my first stop.
Claris Connect under the impact under the hood impact workflow automation is one I signed up for, and Cloud Smart Security. It's a panel exploring the low code boom.
So I think the Claris, the Connect under the hood, because I do enjoy the under the hood sessions.
Yeah.
So I was that one, and I'll probably watch the Vision Forward as well, just to see how many hints they give us as to what might be coming next.
Folks, I got to go for a 10 o'clock meeting. It's been great seeing you. I'm sorry I've missed a bunch of meetings. After working all day, I sometimes forget to do something in the evening. And so I have missed a couple group meetings because it's like, oh, wait a minute. Why didn't I go to that? And but I hopefully you'll see more of me at least over the next couple of months.
If you're not doing 5 Zoom meetings a day, you're not trying.
Trust me, I'm doing them.
All right, sounds good, Thomas. We will see you later.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
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 Now everything shifted.
And I think I can't remember if I signed up for it, but I think the looking ahead to emerging technology panel might be interesting.
Oh,
I think it's at 4 this afternoon.
Yeah, Steve Miller's going to do that one, so that should be interesting.
Yeah, and I guess I'll shout out the FM networking session for everything. Because I did that yesterday and it was an interesting experience, so urge anybody to go.
What was that like?
It was interesting because we had a bunch of there was a bunch of people there, and then we broke up into small breakout rooms and got to meet, like actually meet and talk to people. So it was sort of networking that way.
Cool.
That's pretty cool. Now, has anyone gone to the virtual showroom for any of the the vendors and stuff?
No, don't do that. I heard if you go there, you don't come back. You get stuck in.
Oh, no, where is that? I don't even know where that is.
You mean the thing hosted by Geist?
Yeah, it's hosted by Geist, but they have, I don't know, is it almost 24, I think, different organizations?
Oh, yeah, and there was more.
There's more?
I'll put it in the chat. That's where I've been talking to everybody.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, by the way, for all the links you've been sending. I appreciate that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, if you guys haven't looked at the chat, there's some good information there.
Yeah, autoenter.live is where the virtual trade show is and everybody's chatting.
Oh, I see it.
So I have to admit, I'm not much of a chatter. Usually like the opening, or when they used to do the keynote on the Monday night, and then you go into the welcome reception, I'd usually hang out for 20 minutes and then figure out how soon I could escape to go find a restaurant and get a burger. So,
I mean, I don't chat much, but I see everybody else's comments, and that's interesting. Although there is a place to chat on that website, so I'll try. Share a picture.
So I guess any more Claris Engage specific conversation, or do we want to go ahead and jump into one more thing and just general FileMaker discussion?
It's a resounding yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna make up. I guess while you guys are pondering, where did I lose it? Must have closed it. There we go. I just thought I would go ahead and share the survey results from last month's, or I guess June's meeting, since we didn't meet in July, and then we can circle back to one more thing. And unfortunately, I don't have a slide for this, so.
What? No LinkedIn graphic?
Yeah, no graphics or anything like that. So why is this not? Anyway, I found it, and now it's not letting me open for some reason. So just bear with me for a second. Feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
Yeah, Thomas, I kept trying to look to see what the burger of the day was listed behind you on the screen.
Does it?
So Thomas's background is from a TV show, for those of you who don't know, and every episode they have a new burger of the day. I think that one's the life of the parsley burger. I think.
I should edit it and make it the Pittsburgher, which comes with fries and coleslaw.
There you go.
There we go. Yeah.
Okay, so found the survey results from last time, since our last meeting was about the FileMaker 19 had just been released. So we'd asked which new features of FileMaker 19 will provide the most benefit to you as a developer of FileMaker solutions. And the had a few votes for extending the platform for JavaScript, creating reusable modular code, with the add-on components, building smarter apps with Core ML had a few votes. I think after having watched Todd Geist's session about what you can do with the add-ons in JavaScript, and we may have to re-vote on that. Probably the numbers will go up a little bit. The feature that actually got the most votes was the page count symbol for report layouts. After having to script that for years, we can now actually just add a symbol to our reports to get the total number of pages in the reports. So that was that question. Second question was, which new features of 19 will provide the most benefit to your users? And these ones were all fairly even. The ones that received votes were extending the platform with JavaScript, just probably because of all the nice fancy charts and things that we're able to add, using the Siri shortcuts on iOS and iPad OS. Card support for FileMaker Web Direct got some love. Setting a FileMaker Pro to open a default file when it opens. And then support for dark mode on Mac OS. And then the last question that we asked was, once the COVID-19 stay-at-home orders and travel restrictions are lifted, where do you plan to go? So we had two things were tied for the top vote getters, and that was out to dinner and on vacation. And then we had a couple votes for anywhere that's not at home.
Yeah, this COVID, being in a house.
And so we got one person that's going to go camping. Naturally, I'm going to an amusement park. And then some people were, waiting to go out to see like a movie or musical or play or something. Yeah. So
yeah, this whole COVID thing, being a house burglar and everybody staying home has really crimped my financial stream.
I would imagine. All right. So that's my one more thing, I guess. Anybody else have one more thing that they'd like to either share or ask the group?
I have one thing to share. Teresa's birthday is in 2 days.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Teresa.
to Teresa.
Happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you.
Happy
birthday,
Teresa.
Happy birthday to you.
Was anyone videoing this or recording? Oh, it is
Yes.
being recorded. So,
It is being recorded.
And then they always try and blow out the candles, and everybody goes, "No!"
Well, not to overstep your birthday card, but since I'm by myself, my birthday's on August 21st, so you can sing to me too. I felt because I'm probably gonna be by myself. So.
Happy birthday
to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear kid.
Happy birthday
to
you.
Thank you. That's probably the only people I will see on my birthday.
So don't forget to watch this recording.
Watch that recording on my birthday.
And you can rewatch it over and over. You loop it.
Your birthday every day now.
All right.
I'll re-edit the audio to make that singing of something.
You may
overdub a whole new chorus.
Careful, your OCD showing.
So I think you're Vince. If you're, I think you're on mute, maybe.
I'm off mute. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, I guess.
I had nothing important to say, but I was on mute.
Okay. Okay.
Singing was spectacular.
right. I want to say I had a weird server issue, but now I can't remember what it was. I was going to ask if any of you had seen anything like it, and I can't remember what it was now.
While you're pondering, I did have a little issue in converting a FileMaker Pro 11 file to 19, a little utility file that I've built to transfer data from our system. From, you know, law firms have our system to do estate tax and inheritance tax, and so to extract the data from the system when a lawyer leaves to go to another firm. So I've got a little system that lets you pick what estates and trusts and which files, and it will pull into this utility file, into the respective tables, the data, and then they can do the reverse, going to the new firm. So a really simplified way. And, you know, we're dealing with still the old structure, right? About 40,000 fields in the 26 files, of which maybe 11,000 are user data fields. And so in the process of using FileMaker 19 to help with the analysis, I found that my conditional formatting from 11 to 19, I lose the background color for some fields. And I'm wondering if anybody has seen that. It shows the black-white thing for color instead of the red or green or blue or whatever I had in FileMaker 11. Maybe it's a bug I should report, but I just wonder if anybody has seen that kind of loss of functionality or, you know, formatting.
I have not.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll report it to them and send them a sample of it.
Yeah, I don't know that I've actually done any conversions that were going from 11 to 19 though either. So
we just did from 4 to 19.
Oh wow! Wow.
That was fun. Yeah. But then we rewrote it. So probably for the best.
Was it a multi-hop conversion? 4 to 6 to...
No, I actually didn't do it myself. One of my teammates did. So I'm not even sure what version he had in order to get it up to an FMP 12. I was lucky enough to just say, here are the new files. Give me something I can use.
A quick question, as anything, and I didn't listen to everything yesterday, anything mentioned about the Tableau connection and the data visualization? Did that come up at all?
Not that I recall.
I didn't hear it.
You know, because Salesforce acquired Tableau, as you know, last year or a year and a half ago for $15 billion. You know, I can see where that's going to be a even bigger force. And I'm just wondering if FileMaker is getting on that train in any way.
I have not heard.
Yeah, no, I have not.
So I had one more thing. I just messaged it to the group, but a while ago we had put together a interactive COVID map that we've been hosting and made available to the public. So it's pretty cool, kind of neat. Uses some JavaScript and web viewers and gives some nice visualizations.
Have you seen along those lines the racing bar graph, which shows from February through current the leading causes of death? You know, heart and guns and so forth and so forth. And
I can't say that I have now.
Horizontal bars. In fact, if you want, I'll find it quickly. And it's a stunning visualization. While your others are talk, I'll find it and I can show my screen. It's really an amazing way to visualize how COVID suddenly went from the bottom of the list of these horizontal bars to the top, but it shows them over time reordering themselves.
Have you showed this to Trump?
Oh.
I don't know if he would understand it.
It'd be tremendous.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah. Best chart ever.
Gonna find it. It should come up pretty quickly here. Racing bar. Yeah. Here, racing bar charts. Oh yeah, Flourish. That's it. Yeah, yeah. I got it here.
Well, Vince is looking. Anybody else have anything that they want to just add in real quick?
Can I share two things?
Certainly, Paul. It wouldn't be a meeting if you didn't share.
Well, I'll share my screen. And for, first of all, for those of you who Facebook all the time,
That's good.
And then secondly,
I can agree with that.
Okay.
Right. There you go. All right, I do have it, by the way. So let's see. I make myself presenter. Record screen, share screen. Okay. And my desktop one. All right, you can see my screen?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so watch this. So at the bottom, you see that this is March 1st on the lower left. You see the daily cause of death, average daily cause of death versus COVID. So you see heart disease at the top. This is daily now in the US. Cancer, second, accidents, third, and so forth. COVID is at the bottom. Watch this play over time from left to right, and watch the COVID bar. Now we're into March 13th, middle of March. This was through April 26th, apparently. So they look at that.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
I'm sure that this can be done or might be done in JavaScript, but it's a kind of illustration which is, I just find dramatic.
Wow. Yeah, right. You're right. He won't understand it.
Yeah, yeah. He'd go on Axios and get interviewed, and by Jonathan Swan, and really not understand it. I'll put this link into the chat.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Thank you.